Let's go ahead on the cameras. Now, as I've stated before, the iPhone 8 Plus has that dual camera setup, a 12 megapixel wide and 12 megapixel telephoto lens. The iPhone 10 on the other hand has a 12 megapixel wide angle lens. Now, I've said this for years now, but the iPhone 8 Plus's camera setup is a very solid camera for sure. Really, whatever you're going to do with it is going to be fine for the most part. 4K at 60, 1080p at 30 on the front. And I think, like I mentioned before, this camera is a very solid camera. I think everything you're going to do with it is fine. You have portrait mode, you have all these other things that pretty much the newer iPhones have. The camera quality isn't amazingly perfect, but I think for the standard things you're going to do with it, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. It's not going to be the best camera in the world. I think the front camera could have used a little bit of an improvement. I think this lens that it has on the front is good, but when you have newer phones doing much better, it would have been better if it was newer, kind of better, but I think it's totally okay. This phone came out in 2017, so it's fine. The iPhone 10 on the other hand, I think the camera is overall better on the iPhone 10R for sure. The only downside is that it is a single sensor, so no ultra wide. You can't really zoom in as much compared to something like an iPhone 8 Plus. So that's kind of the biggest downside with something like a single camera lens. But this single camera is beautiful. 4K at 60 on the back, 1080p at 60 on the front, so you're getting a better front-facing camera, which is interesting. The back camera overall, I think, is better on the iPhone 10R as well. I think the only thing the iPhone 8 Plus has going for it, the only advantage it has, is this dual camera setup. I think other than that, the iPhone 10R's camera is pretty much the better one, but I don't know. I think the iPhone 8 Plus camera is still good. It's kind of comes down even to the performance thing again, like I stated. The performance, it's kind of better on the iPhone 8 Plus, kind of better on the iPhone 10R, but they're both very good cameras for the most part. And I think if I were to choose one over the other one, it really wouldn't be because of the camera or the performance, to be honest.